Welcome back. Now in this video, we're going to talk about filing and organization. And this is really the strength of EVERNOTE. And it gives you several options to use in order to categorize your information. Now, the most obvious is that you can actually tag every note that you put together. So, in other words, there's a note that has lots of text in it. That text is going to be searchable. However, we may want to give that text some context, and so we can do that with tags. And if we're inside of the desktop app, all we'll need to do is to click Add Tag, and then we're just going to write in contextual information that will help us to find similar information when we want it. And what this means then is that when our information is properly synced, and we were to go looking for all of the documents that had classified ads or direct marketing, the one that we just notated would be one of those that we would find. And so tagging is one good way that we have available to us in EVERNOTE of classifying our information. Now the notes are saved into notebooks, and this can have different groupings of notes that you think are similar or that give you a category that you like to keep together. And you can create as many notebooks as you want, and you want to create them according to a system that's going to make sense for you. Those notebooks can be further categorized into stacks. And so we can take a notebook, we can right-click that notebook, and we can add that to a specific stack that we create. Once again, it gives us the latitude of being able to name and create a stack that makes sense for our categorization. And everything that we associate with our document can be categorized and annotated. And all we'll need to do is to go to the actual image or the actual piece of information and then right-click it. We can rename that document whatever we want it to be. And you'll see that here. Now, what we're trying to do is we're trying to create a system that's going to be easy to manage, yet at the same time provides us information when we need it. We don't want to do searching and get an overwhelming number of responses, because then that makes our search cumbersome. Now, one of the other things that you can do is you can actually tag by setting a reminder. And you can go to this right-hand menu and you can click Reminder, and you can add a date to the note. Now, obviously, there is a date posted and a date created that does give your document some context. However, when you remind yourself to look at it at a specific point in time, you are giving yourself another level of categorization that you can actually help yourself to look at it again when it's time. And so you can use the reminder feature in that manner. Now, for hints of more customization, all you'll need to do is to click this information button. You can actually change any of this information to fit what it is that you want to search for. So for example, if you want to set a source URL, if you want to set a location, you can do that. And you can actually view the additional history as it is according to the document. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Hello and welcome. Now in this video, we're going to talk about the overall direction of the course. Now, EVERNOTE is a well-known and used application for note-taking and organizing the information we come in contact with every day. It is adaptable to the way that we choose to organize the voluminous amount of information that we use. It provides us a searchable database for our information. While the course will reintroduce some of those technical features, its focus is on tracking your activity on different popular sites, applications, and web apps, and then using the power of EVERNOTE's adaptable and searchable system for archiving this information. Therefore, some of the time will be attended to doing the basics of documenting the process, but most of the time will be spent on automation. Now, the focus of the course is to help you to use EVERNOTE to work smarter. And that means that we'll feature website applications such as Google Drive, Zapier, and IFT, or If This Then That. Then you'll be shown the practical setup of each of these applications and how they interact with EVERNOTE. You'll then see how you can adapt, choose, and set up your own individual system for automating and archiving your information. So with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now in this video, we're going to discuss pricing options. And so first, what we're going to do is we're going to discuss what's available in the free version of EVERNOTE. Now, all free versions include unlimited total storage. So there's no limit on how much you can actually upload into EVERNOTE. You can also share notebooks with other individuals. So everything that you have in terms of your content, you can actually give other people access to those pages, those notes, those notebooks, whether it's for using or working. You can also search your printed and handwritten text in your images. And all of your data is going to be encrypted, so it will not be insecure inside of EVERNOTE. You can actually have a passcode lock on your mobile app, so that means then that you have even another level of security to your data. Make notes on your images. And if you are a user of Salesforce.com, you can actually integrate your personal notes inside of the files that you use inside of Salesforce. Now you'll also know that there are limits on how much you can upload depending on what level you have. Now the basic in this case is the free version. So you're limited to 60 megabytes of data on a monthly basis if you're going to be uploading into EVERNOTE. And of course, those limits go up as you go up in price. The same is true for the maximum note size. So if you're talking about how big of a note can you actually place inside of EVERNOTE at one time, you are going to want to be mindful of the level at which you are paying. Now, one of the keys is understanding how you're going to use EVERNOTE. And as you'll notice, when we're talking about both premium and business, there are going to be some things that are going to be missing from the free version. For example, if you need to scan and digitize business cards, you'll not be able to do that in the free version. Or if it would be handy for you to turn your notes into presentations, you will not be able to do that in the free version. So these are things that you definitely want to keep in mind, and you probably want to take a look at the premium version, which is the highest version, and then determine which of those features you are not going to be using. And if you are going to be collaborating, you'll almost definitely need an EVERNOTE business account. So now that you've seen what's available in the free version, we want to make note of those things that are only available for paid subscribers. If you're going to be syncing your data across all of your devices, then you will need a paid version. If you're going to use the free version, you can only use 2 devices. Now, just so that you'll know, the web is not considered to be a device. So if you're going to be using your browser for EVERNOTE, you will not be charged as if that were a device. You're going to have 2 levels of security to your data. You'll also have offline access to your content on desktop and mobile. Now again, if you're only going to be using the free version, you'll only have access to that content through the desktop. And lastly, you are going to have access to support if you have a paid version. If not, if you use the free version, you'll only have access to the EVERNOTE community. Now, there are 3 levels of paid access, and it's a good idea for us to discuss that right now also. Now, there are 3 levels of paid access, and you're going to notice that they vary in price. Now, you'll notice that they vary in terms of how much you can upload at one time, 1 gigabyte versus 10 versus 20. And then there are certain features that are available in the premium level and the business level that are not available in the lowest level, which is the plus level. For example, if you want access to your PDFs and your Office documents by search, you'll need to get a premium level. Or if you're going to be adding notes to your PDFs when you categorize them, or if you're going to be using your notes as a presentation, you will need the premium level. And lastly, you'll need the premium level if you're going to be scanning and digitizing business cards. None of those features are going to be available in the lowest level of paid access, which is the plus level. Now, in terms of the business level, you'll notice that there is one significant aspect of this level that if you're going to be collaborating is going to be important. You're going to be able to work with others together in a single workspace. You're also going to have a single sign-on, and you will be able to administer the entire group or team from your Evernote account. So again, if you're going to be working with other people, you might want to try the business version. And in fact, in this course, we're going to start with the free trial of business, and then you can determine which of the features you won't be using, and then decide to scale down based on that use. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Hello and welcome. Now in this video, we are going to set up our Evernote on our desktop or laptop. And you're going to notice at the top right-hand corner, you see a button there that says Try Evernote Business. Now, in order to try the maximum amount of features inside of Evernote, you will need to go and do the trial with Evernote Business. So let's go ahead and click that button. That's going to bring you to a page that's going to give you a button that says Start Free Trial. Now, when you start a free business account, Evernote assumes that you are going to be collaborating with another individual. So if you have another individual that you are going to be working with, perhaps you have an outsourcer or a teammate, you will also want to have their information handy at this point. So once you have all the information in order to initiate your account, you're then going to click Continue. Now when you start the trial, Evernote will actually give you access to free personal Evernote Premium for your team, but after the trial, you'll be billed $10 per user per month. The minimum number of users to get started with is going to be 2. Now you can do the same thing at $12 a month, and you can start by being billed monthly. If you determine that Evernote Business is not what you need, you can cancel before the trial is up. So once you have at least 2 users, and you've determined that you're going to be billed either monthly or annually, you can then place your card information inside of Evernote, and then you can continue the process. You should then have an email from Evernote stating that your business account is now created. Now, once your account is set up, you can then download the application onto your hard drive and then click the Install button. You'll get the opportunity to save the file on your hard drive, and then you can start the installation process. Once the application is installed, you can go to the link that says you already have an account. You can then write in your email, and then you'll click Continue, and then you'll write in your password. Your Evernote is then set up on your desktop. Evernote then suggests that you create a note, and this is just for the sake of being able to confirm that your accounts will be synced. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a quick note. We're now going to go and click New Note. We're going to give this note a title. So now that our note is complete, we'll go back to our dashboard. And what we're going to do is we're going to click the Sync button. When we click that Sync button, that means that we should find that our document, the one we just created, should also be on the web app when we go and look at it. And so we come back to evernote.com, we sign in with our email, and when we sign into our web app for the first time, we'll get a welcome message. We're going to just click Get Started. And what you're going to notice right away is that our note that we created on the desktop is now actually also on our web app. And once we've done that, we're now ready to start using Evernote. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Hello and welcome. We are now going to go through the installation process on our mobile device. And in order to do that, we are going to then look for the application inside of whichever platform we are using, whether it is an iPhone or Android or some other platform. We're going to look for the app, and if we search, typically we'll be able to find it on our device or in our app store. So we'll look for it in our app store, and in this particular case, what we will do is we will download the app. Once we have it downloaded, we will then open the app. Then we will use our login username and password. Once we have it entered, we will then click continue. And you should see that the note that we created in the initial setup is now inside of our mobile device. Now, to secure our data, what we are going to do is we're going to go to our account. When we do that, we're going to click settings, and then we're going to go to our passcode lock. We're then going to turn on our passcode, and then we're going to enter a passcode that we are going to remember. EVERNOTE will then ask us to re-enter the password, and now our extra layer of security is now in place. If you are a user of Apple technology, you can actually enable your account with Touch ID also. Once you've done that, you can exit by clicking the settings link. And you can exit again by clicking the arrow at the top. Our mobile device is now enabled along with our desktop as well as our web app. If we have to sync our account, we will click the account link. We will then scroll to the bottom, and then we will click Sync Now. Then our account will be synced. To sign out of the mobile app, all you'll need to do is to click the Sign Out link. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Hello and welcome. We are now working inside of our desktop app, and what we want to do with some of the content, whatever we have uploaded, we may want to share it with others. And of course, there are always going to be different levels of sharing. In some cases, you may want to make it public with a certain number of people, but not everyone. And EVERNOTE gives you that option. So we would take this note that we're looking at, the one that says, "Welcome, Thomas Duncan," and we can go to the Note section, and we can actually go to this Share menu. And what we're going to do is we're going to click Share Note. That's going to give us a dialog box. And what you'll notice is that we can write in the names and emails of individuals who we want to see that note. Now, we can give them certain privileges. As you can see here, we can give certain people the ability to view but not edit. We can give people the ability to edit but not view. We can actually give someone the ability to edit and invite others to actually see the note. So depending on how much authority you want to give to the people that you are going to be sharing the note with, you can determine that with this drop-down menu. In this particular case, we can write in an email, and we can write in a message that we want to use to give context to the note that they're about to see. What we can also do is we can create a link, and basically this is a hyperlink, and everyone that actually comes in contact with this link will be able to see it. We can also disable this shareable link by clicking this Turn Off button. Now, the only person that will be able to see the note and work with it will be the person that we have determined by sending them an email. Now, what we're also doing is we're determining how much permission a person has to see other notes in our notebook. So in this particular case, if we wanted to give permission to someone to see everything in our entire notebook, we can modify our notebook permissions here in this link. There are a few more choices that EVERNOTE gives us. For example, if we were to click this link, you'll notice that there's the shareable link again and the internal link. What we can also do is we can send a copy. And that means that someone's going to be able to view a copy, but they won't be able to access the actual document to work with it. We can also share the very same document on social media, whether or not it's Facebook, Twitter, or LinkedIn. And once we've determined what we want to have in terms of permissions and the people that we want to share it to, we can then click the Share button. And when we do that, we need to confirm that the people that we are sharing with may or may not be involved in our business or associated with us, but yet we want to share the note with them anyway. Once we do that, we can click Confirm, and then our note will have been shared. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Hello and welcome. Now in this video, we are going to explore integrations with EVERNOTE. One of the ways that you can extend EVERNOTE's capability is to integrate with other applications. And in order to find out how EVERNOTE works with the applications that you're already using, so if you write the name into the search bar, you'll be able to determine whether or not your application is one that EVERNOTE integrates with directly. So for example, we would type in Microsoft Outlook because that's a common application that people work with. And you would determine that EVERNOTE actually has an integration with Microsoft Outlook. In fact, you can actually access that integration through Microsoft Office. Now, this application only works with EVERNOTE for business. So if you have the free version or if you have one of the other paid versions, you will not be able to use EVERNOTE for Outlook. So it's a good idea to take a look at all of the applications that fall under the category of the platform that you use most. So for example, if you are a Windows PC user, you'd click Windows and you'd see all of the applications that are available direct to EVERNOTE. As you can see here, in this particular case, there are a finite number of applications, so it'd be a good idea to find out what they do. For example, we'll take two of them. CallNote, for example, allows you to automatically send the recording of your Skype conversations to EVERNOTE. The GSyncIt application synchronizes Outlook folders with EVERNOTE notebooks. So again, all of these factors allow you to work with platforms that are already part of your productivity mix. Now you'll notice that EVERNOTE has 6 platforms that it focuses on: the Android platform, iPhone, iPad, Windows, Mac, and then there are also web application or browser applications. So we're going to go ahead and click Web Applications. And what you're going to notice is that there are a number of web applications that EVERNOTE integrates with. There are 2 in particular that we are going to focus on in this course. One of those applications is If This Then That, or IFTY, as well as Zapier. Both web applications allow you to connect multiple applications to EVERNOTE. So your capability is extended even further. So in the next video, we're going to start the process by looking at integrations between IFTY, or If This Then That, and EVERNOTE. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. We are now at the website IFTY, or If This Then That. You can access that website by going to ifttt.com. If you go to the site and after the backslash you write EVERNOTE, you'll notice that IFTY has an EVERNOTE page where they talk about some of the connections that are available. So if you don't have an account with IFTTT, you are going to want to sign up for one now. Now you can choose to sign up with Google, Facebook, or sign up or sign in. And if you have a Gmail account, your sign up will be instant and you will already be given access to IFTTT. Now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to connect our account. And in order to do that, we are going to need to give IFTY permission to access our EVERNOTE account. So we're going to do that by putting our EVERNOTE account email address in this dialog box. We're then going to need to write in our EVERNOTE password. Now, if you have sensitive information, you are going to want to read your third-party application's permission, just so that you'll understand what you'll be doing with IFTY. You want to determine how long you're going to give IFTY access to your account. And once you've done that, you are then going to click Authorize. But once you do that, you'll then want to come back to the main screen in IFTY, and you'll want to know which services actually integrate with EVERNOTE. And so what you'll want to do is you'll want to write EVERNOTE into the search grid, and then you'll notice the applets that'll come up at the bottom telling you which recipes are going to be available to connect 2 services together, where one of them is going to be EVERNOTE. For example, you can sync starred emails in Gmail to EVERNOTE, so that all you'll have to do is to go in, click star, and then that email will then show up inside of Evernote. You can actually create connections between Google Calendar and Evernote. And you'll see a number of integrations that you'll want to be able to use. Now, if you want to speed up the search process, then all you'll need to do is to then write in the other application. And you'll be able to find those applications that are connected to Evernote and the service that you're looking for. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Hello and welcome. Now, in this video, we are going to be discussing scanning documents into Evernote. Now, you may from time to time come across a situation where you are with your mobile device and you need to scan something and you need to make sure that you archive it properly. Evernote has an application that we can actually download to our mobile device to make the scanner work along with your Evernote application. And so you're going to go to your App Store and you're going to type in Evernote Scannable, and then you're going to get the application. Now, once the application has been installed, you can then open the application. The application is going to ask you if it can access the camera, and you're going to say OK. You will then sign in with your Evernote account. Now, once you have your application open, you will then find your document, the one that you are going to want to use. You're going to then want to hold your camera over that document so that it is captured. Once you have the document, then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to save the document. And then you'll get a note saying that notifications allow Scannable to alert you if there are going to be issues saving this scan. We're then going to click OK. And then we're going to continue. Now, we do then want to allow Scannable to send us notifications. Now, our document has been saved to our inbox inside of Evernote. So then we can then click Done. Our document is then inside of Evernote. We can then annotate it. Now, if you attempt to change the document's information inside of the web app, you will not be able to. You will need to go to the desktop application. And it's here that we can actually change the name of our document. We can add in tags here also. So basically what we're able to do is we're able to take anything that we scan, we're able to annotate it, and then we're able to categorize it into a notebook where we want it to be. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Hello and welcome. Now in this video, we are going to create an audio note, and we're going to save it and archive it in Evernote. And in order to do that on the desktop app, what we're going to do first is we're going to click New Note. And then once we have the note open, we're going to give that note a title. And then once we do that, we're going to look to the toolbar, and then we're going to click this link that says Record Audio. And then what we're going to do, and you'll see that this audio is actually recording, and you can see the meter as it records speech. And we're going to go ahead and click the record button. And what's going to happen is that Evernote is going to actually record the audio as speech is heard in this particular case. And then once the audio has been completed, all you'll need to do then is hit the Save button. You'll then have a WAV file inside of Evernote. Now, one thing that you're going to want to be aware of is that these audio notes as WAV files are going to be fairly large, and what will govern whether or not these audio notes sync properly to Evernote is that they do not exceed your limit. So in some cases the limit is 25 meg. In other cases the limit is 200 meg. Again, it really depends on what level you've purchased. You can also do the same thing using your mobile device. And so what you'll need to do is to click this green button. And then you'll want to give your document a title. Then once you do that, you're going to click that plus button. And then you're going to click Record Audio. Evernote is then going to want to use the microphone. And then you will be able to dictate into your mobile device just as if you were dictating into your PC or just as we did prior to this. Once you have completed your audio note, you will then click Done. You'll then have a similar file inside of EVERNOTE for you to be able to use and notate and categorize. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. You are now looking at the desktop application of EVERNOTE. And the strength of EVERNOTE is your ability to take notes on just about anything and to categorize it properly. So when you click New Note, you are going to notice that you are going to have a traditional word processing interface, which means that you will be able to digital notes and include just about anything. So for example, we might have this text and we're just going to copy and paste some text in here. If there's something else that is part of the thought on what you've posted, you can actually upload and attach a file. And EVERNOTE reminds you that when you upload an Office document, in particular one from Microsoft, that document's going to be searchable inside of EVERNOTE. So we're going to go ahead and click OK because we just uploaded a PowerPoint presentation. And so that can be associated with all of the data that you have just entered. You can upload an image. That image, if it's part of the thought that you are trying to communicate or that you're trying to archive. Now, any additional aspect of our upload, we can actually right-click the actual document and we can annotate the image. So in this particular case, we can add information to the image and we can further give it some clarity so that again, when we are looking to search for this image or we're doing a search later on, we will have archived information that will help us. And of course, we can save our annotation. The key is that once we have archived this information, it's going to be searchable and it's going to be synced across our devices. We can also add to the document with written notes. So if we capture it with an image, we can take our photo and we can have this added to the document. When we save it as a document, that means then that this content is actually going to be searchable. We'll click Save, and now this document is now part of our note. So again, this gives us added flexibility of being able to add to something and to continue to keep all of the thoughts in one place and to be able to archive it appropriately. Now, in another video in this series, we are actually going to show you how to categorize and how to notate so that you'll be able to find things easy. However, one of the things you want to be aware of is that with EVERNOTE, you will be able to find information according to the words that you have placed in here, whether or not they're from images or from the actual text.